Okay, welcome everyone. My name is Rachel Garcia, and tonight I'm going to be walking through some information that could radically change your life forever. And I know that's a very strong statement, but whoever invited you here today likely has some sort of crazy story as to why they're sharing this with you. And they probably called you up and said, hey, I found something amazing. You need to take a look at it. And that's exactly the phone call that I received way back in 2008. So in 2008, I'm a physician assistant. I was working full time, seeing patients literally from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I was seeing over 60 patients a day, writing 200 prescriptions a day. And my life was crazy. My husband and I had just invested $100,000 in two different companies. One was a construction company, one was a skincare retail store. And we had just had our second baby. So a 9-month-old and a 3-year-old. So my brothers, thinking, oh, these guys are entrepreneurs, they're all over businesses, asked us to take a look at this business. And I immediately said no, because you can only do so much. And they said, you can say no, just give us an educated no, like take a look at it. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. So I agreed to that. And I was not attracted to the business aspect of what we have in the beginning. I was very interested in the health aspect because my nephew had just been diagnosed with severe autism and I had a 9-month-old. And I had sat with my sister as the doctor said to her, he will never speak. He will never have more than the mind of a 3-year-old. And I wanted to know why. I have a master's degree in clinical medical sciences. So I really know how to do research, not Wikipedia on Google. Like I was researching medical studies, trying to find out what is autism and why did 1 in 4 boys have it. And through my research, I learned that nutrition was crazy important. And I went a little overboard. We had the expensive supplements with the greens and the calcium and the omegas and the best multivitamin and a garden, an organic garden. We were juicing. And I mean, I was all in because I had learned through the research how important that was. And when I heard this message I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, I immediately knew that they knew what they were talking about regarding nutrition. They'd used this system in a clinical practice for 30 years with patients. And at that time, I'd been practicing medicine 10 years. I said, 30 years is a long time. I can't out-research that. Called my brothers and said, give me everything they have. So I was the group of people who were attracted to the health aspect of it. And after we got started on the program, expecting absolutely no results, because remember, I was buying the most expensive, most highly reviewed supplementation prior to finding out about Pure. We started to see results I'd never seen before. I mean, like I used to be allergic to cats. I'm no longer allergic to cats. My horrible insomnia resolves. My son's awful constipation, he was 3, that he dealt with was gone. 6 weeks in, my husband's extreme anger and depression issues are gone. And 3 months in, my nephew is speaking. He went from being nonverbal to speaking. And that was when my, medical mind is like, what is this? Dug in, did some research, got my answers, and became really just ethically obligated. That's how I felt, to share this with others. And I began telling everyone. If you knew me in 2008, I was screaming this from the rooftops. And it was kind of like I was a vending machine, guys. It's like I sold products. I was like, do you know about omega-3s? Do you know about calcium? And people were buying products from my website and I was getting checks, and they were like 57, 157, 557, 887, 5,887. Like they kept growing, which was blowing my mind because I spent 3 to 4 hours a day on my skincare store. I spent 12 hours a day seeing patients, and these checks from this thing I was doing 30 minutes a day just kept growing. So before I move on, let me ask you, are you doing something right now that if you spend 30 minutes a day on it 5 days a week, can pay you a weekly check for decades to come? Because if you don't, this might be right up your alley. So I got involved with the company because I know health and nutrition, and no one was speaking this truth. I just got off the phone probably 3 hours ago with someone who's really into health and nutrition. She watched this presentation last night and she said, yeah, I know you guys know what you're talking about. Not a lot of people are talking about being alkaline, getting the toxins out of your body, pouring plant-based nutrition in. Then you start comparing your very expensive supplementation to what they have, and you're like, oh, yours is better. And they offer a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. I'm in. This is great. So for me, remember 15 years ago, online websites were not a big deal, right? Most people, we didn't have Instacart. Amazon was not really exploding back then. So online was kind of a new thing. And I thought, my gosh, you can click a button and they've used this in a clinical practice for 30 years. And they're going to send it to my house, and we're juicing and we're buying 9 different brands from the health food store. I am in. I joined for the simplicity. I'm still here today because it wasn't just my family's results. I've helped tens of thousands of people throw prescriptions in the trash over the last 15 years. But I want to ask you a question for a minute. Imagine that it is 15 years ago and that someone comes up to you and says, hey, there's this company called Amazon. Right now, only about 20% of the population even knows that it exists. But we're looking for people to go help us spread the news, brand ambassadors. And if you get somebody to get a subscription or membership with Amazon because of you telling them, we're going to give you 10 to 50% of everything that person purchases for the rest of their lives. And if they tell anybody, you'll get a percentage of that as well. Would you have seen that for what it was? I mean, back then, 15 years ago, really retail stores were still the big thing to do. People weren't buying a lot of things online. I mean, I might have been like, Amazon, what is that? Not like in the jungle with the snakes. But if you had taken that deal, now when I pull the live audience that I speak in front of, 100% of the room have Amazon subscriptions versus 30% that had Amazon subscriptions about 5 years ago. Fascinating how things change. And I believe Pure is just like that. I believe in 10 years, everyone will have a membership to Pure. Why? Because we're the best. If we're going to talk about business, I wish I could go back in time and talk to 32-year-old Rachel and say, don't do the skincare store. Why? I might ask myself, because it's for a small demographic. If you're going to have a business, you're going to do sales, or you're going to have a service that you're selling to people, please make sure it's for as many people as you can possibly serve. Meaning, not just the women, not just the pregnant women, not just the people who run, not just the people with pets, for 100% of the population. And Pure is for everybody with a body, every man, woman, child, their parents, their dogs, and their cats. It's your number one asset, guys. We only get one home that our soul lives in. I'm sitting in a car right now. We have multiple cars throughout our adult life. We have multiple cell phones. We have multiple houses. Okay, and we're replacing things in all car. We take it in for a servicing every 10,000 miles. If we don't, it's not going to make it 200,000 miles. But most of us don't pay near the attention we should to our bodies. And these bodies are amazing machines. Have you seen the Holocaust survivors or people who were prisoners of war and what their bodies have gone through during that time period? And they're still walking, talking, breathing, functioning because we have amazing machines. And yes, it can make it. But you've seen people, you know people, I guarantee you, who are in the 60s, 70s, and 80s and wish they'd done a better job taking care of their home. This is for every man, woman, and child and their dogs and cats. Because yes, they have bodies too. It's consumable, which is huge for a business. If you're going to get invested in a business, you want to make sure that they're not going to buy it once. Cutco knives, one-time buy. Vacuum cleaners, one-time buy. Pampered Chef baking stone, one-time buy. And if that's your business and that's how you're making money and you start sharing it with others, and then all your friends buy it, okay, and then what do? You go cold calling? That's awful. That's an awful business. You want to have something that's consumable that people continue to purchase over and over and over again, okay? This is a consumable. People continue to purchase over and over and over again. In fact, if someone starts with our starter package, 93 out of 100 people repurchase. Why? Because we're the best. Because there's nothing else out there that even compares to what we have. When people that are into nutrition start looking at the back of the labels and look at the numbers of what we have, they say, oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this. They know what they're talking about. When people who aren't into nutrition use our products, they love it because it's simple. It's easy. It actually gives you results. Thus, we have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. This business model is recommended by some of the most brilliant minds of our time. Richard Branson says everybody should have a small business for tax deduction purposes. And just to give you an idea, I'm aware that the majority of the people that watch this are typically employees. You work 9 to 5 jobs, or you're salaried. You trade your hours for dollars. Just that amount of money that you can make. Maybe you get bonuses, okay? But at the end of the year, you're turning your taxes in, and you usually are used to getting money back with your W-2s. I have a friend who's been in a career in the school system, right? She's used to getting whatever she gets back in the spring. And this past year, she said to me, okay, I'm filing my taxes, but I think I can write off my Pure investment, right? I think I can write off the money that I've spent on my Pure business over the last year. I'm like, absolutely you can. So she went back and got all her receipts, and her tax paperwork went from $900 back to $3,900 back in her pocket. She was pretty happy. And this is why Richard Branson says this business model is a no-brainer. Tony Robbins loves the business model because of the low startup cost. The startup cost, guys, was less than the overhead for my skincare store. Again, I know I'm talking to people likely that are not entrepreneurs. But it's the startup cost was less than what it cost me for the rent, the employees, the paperwork, the light bill for the skincare store that I owned. Okay. So I didn't really think this was a business. The monthly overhead is what you should be spending on your number one asset anyways, around $140 a month. You should be doing that. Okay. If you're not, you should be doing that. Okay. If you are, it's literally replacing what you're already purchasing. I will also tell you that Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, again, if you're an entrepreneur, you've read this. If you're an employee, you should read this and understand the importance of multiple streams of income. He came out with a book in 2010, I think it was, The Business of the 21st Century. Guess what business he was talking about? It was this one. Okay. So in places like Europe, Asia, Korea, Thailand, they know this business model is brilliant. Like, oh, is this one of those things where you tell somebody and then they tell somebody? Yeah, I'm looking for one of those. They know people, millionaires, are made in this business model. Here in the US, we are mostly employees. Okay, so if you've ever thought of starting a business and you thought it cost too much money, I don't have the time, I'm going to tell you right now, if you can find 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, to be consistent and do what we teach you to do, we send you all of the trainings, exactly what you do on your phone, you can create a weekly check for decades to come. And I'm talking about decades to come, whether you build this or not in the future. I could move to New Zealand tomorrow without my phone, without my computer, and I would make more in 2023 than I did in 2022 because of what I did a decade ago. Okay. So you're leveraging your time. This is really the reason those three guys love this business. I'm here tonight. There's a lot of people watching this. Somebody invited you. They're not talking. All they did was say, hey, Frank, we've got this thing. You need to take a look at it. You're watching. I'm presenting. I answer the questions. My leaders answer the questions. We travel to your homes if you really start inviting people. And after someone has watched a webinar, they're like, wait a minute, these people are coming to our house? I was in Montana for 4 days last night doing presentation after presentation after presentation. And people who had come in with family packs were coming to bring their sisters and their cousins and their brothers to see this is real. Because prevention is better than prescription, guys. And really what I do is I deliver hope. That's what I do. I was intrigued by the fact that this started in a clinical practice. And for 30 years, they recommended this philosophy of cleanse, balance, build to their patients. The results were so good, there was a 3-year waiting list. They said, we have to get the news out. People shouldn't have to wait 3 years to get in to see us, to get on this plan. We're going to spread it word of mouth. And that's how it started. And I said, I can't out research 30 years. I'm in, give it to me. I know as a healthcare provider for 20 years as a PA that we're toxic. I believe that there's 3 things that are causing the majority of the health issues we face. We're toxic. We're drinking out of plastic water bottles. Our food goes in Tupperware containers in the microwave. Food is sprayed with all kinds of poisons and chemicals, and the cancer rates shooting up. We're out of balance. We are lacking in nutrition. We're pouring acidic foods in like meat, dairy, sugar, soda, coffee, bread that causes our pH to go way over here where disease and infection thrive. Got to put more plants in than you do that other stuff, guys. We're staring at the phones too much. We don't get enough sleep. We're not getting enough exercise, and it's killing us. It's killing us. The lack of nutrition is severe. And the studies for the children prove this, okay? Here's the deal. Whatever's in your genetic pipeline, whatever your parents struggled with, dementia or are struggling with, dementia, Alzheimer's, arthritis, diabetes, what is it? It's going to hit you. It's just genetics, guys. Probably faster because of your lack of nutrition, because of the poisons we're consuming, because of the acidity we're consuming. And our kids will get hit even faster, unfortunately. I have a better way, I promise. Even if you eat, you're like, I eat organic, I'm fine. I juice all my vegetables. My mom has an organic farm in North Carolina. She called me 2 weeks after starting Pure, crying. She said, I'm the healthiest person I know. She's the person who puts the pH strips on your tongue when you get there to see if you're acidic or alkaline. She said, I've never felt so good in my life. What is this stuff? Where did it come from? They did a few studies in 2010 showing that you have to eat 8 oranges, 80 cups of spinach, 99 ears of corn, and 2 cups of wheat to get the same nutrition that our grandparents got from one of each of those things. So food won't give it to you. Cleanse, balance, build is the answer, guys. This is a centuries-old philosophy. The company is 15 years old, and less than 60,000 people know about it. We have a medical doctor joining us weekly. Why? Why are they joining us? Well, many of our products are in the PDR, but really, we've all figured out prevention is better than prescription. Okay, so I'm not going to make claims about what's going to happen for you. I don't know what's going to happen for you. I just want you to put the puzzle pieces together, friends. I walked away from practicing medicine in December of 2019 because I have found a better way to help people, a much better way to help people. And they are so thankful. We offer a lot of products. We have an amazing sports line. My whole family, we are in the gym an hour to 2 hours every single day. And so we use the sports line. We have some super fruits that I'll tell you about here in a moment. We have a metabolic reset that incorporates all of the core complete products I'm about to talk to you about, which gets your metabolism turning into this fat burning machine. I found most women over 40 are starving themselves, working out. They can't lose their muffin top. They gain weight just looking at food. We're going to turn your metabolism on if you choose to do the metabolic reset with us. Cash prizes, Biggest Loser starting the first week of January. So listen up for that. That's called the metabolic reset. But I'm going to talk about the starter pack. Starter package is made up of 7 products that we have found that when you start with this, 93 out of 100 people repurchase. Why? Because there's 6 things they typically notice in 30 days. Weight loss without trying, better sleep, that was me, loads of energy, better bowel habits, that was my son, less pain, if you struggle with joint pain or pain of any kind, and better mood. Although you don't notice it, everyone around you does. We're cleansing the toxins out of the 7 eliminatory organs that God gave you, eliminatory channels, your lungs, your liver, your skin, your lymphatic system, kidneys, blood, and intestines. We're pouring omega-3s in decrease inflammation. We're pouring sulfur into decrease inflammation. Plant-based calcium rather than acidic cow's milk calcium. Plant-based calcium keeps you in that alkaline side. That's where you want to be, guys. Okay, Goyen is our best-selling product. It helps with feelings of joy, with depression, anxiety, hot flashes, PMS, rage for no reason. The most comprehensive multivitamin you'll find on the planet. That is our starter package. If you're over 40 or you're on prescription medications, look at our Core Complete. That's our superfruits. It incorporates these superfruits that have been used for thousands of years in the areas where they're grown, studied for 3 decades here in our country, and they're not mixed with anything like pear juice or apple juice or junk. 100% noni from the Polynesian Islands, and it works. 30-day satisfaction guarantee. This is my favorite starter pack, the Core Complete. And again, the 6 things most people feel. So if you're looking for improvements in sleep, energy, pain, bowels, mood, weight loss, look at Core Complete. I'm not here for what happens in the first 30 days. I'm here for what happens the 2nd month, 3rd month, the 4th month. That's why I'm here. I'm sorry, I'm getting text from my son while I'm sitting here. I'm like, where is my son? That's why I'm here. That's why the doctors are joining. You can't fake lab results, guys. That's why we're here. So one of the questions we always get is, how hard is it to take? Can I do this? It seems like a lot. Okay, here's the deal. My boys have been doing this every single morning since they were toddlers, and this is how they take it. Now they're old enough now that, like, I'm not going to force them to do it. And what happens inevitably is, if they don't do it for a week or 2, they get the scratchy throat. They start to not feel good. They notice the change in how they wake up in the morning. They're focused during the day, how they're working out at the gym. And they're like, Mom, I need my superfruits, which makes my heart happy because I have one going to college next year. And I'm not sending him stuff if he's not going to use it. These boys know the results that it gives them. This guy right here says noni is his favorite product. You know why? Because little kids don't like stomach pain. And noni's pretty powerful for stomach issues. You can go do your own research on noni and how great it is. Now he drinks a smoothie every morning, that little guy. He's 15, but we have all kinds of training videos. How do you get it in French toast? How do you get it in waffles? How do you get it in smoothies? You can put it in anything you want. PureLifeChangers.com is a wealth of information. We have education from the doctors teaching on the products. We have people talking about how the products have changed their lives. And some of you are watching on Changing Lives with Pure right now. Use the search box on Changing Lives with Pure. Type in whatever ailment your family is struggling with. I think you'll be blown away with what you see. If you're not on this page, ask whoever invited you to add you to this page. It is a wealth of information. I call it TripAdvisor for Pure. So I started out just sharing it with people that I knew, and then things started happening. One of my greatest stories is Betty. Betty was in her 70s. She was on a fixed income, and she couldn't walk past her mailbox. Tired, pain, fatigued, sluggish. Starts on the Pure system, and within weeks, she not only has energy, I mean, she's walking around the whole block, meeting everybody, saying hi, remembering their names. And they're like, oh my gosh, Betty, what's happened to you? What is she doing? She's talking about Pure. And now she calls me and she's like, Sarah's starting on it, Bob's starting on it. They're all having amazing results. And Rachel, I'm getting checks every week. I'm on a fixed income. Like, I'm getting checks every week. So let me just tell you, as a PA, I helped people. I saw 60 to 70 patients a day. I helped them. I was a very good PA. Okay. But I didn't help people I didn't know. I definitely didn't help people earn checks. This was life-changing for me, to be able to change people's finances as well as their health. So it's the future. It's online retail mixed with health and wellness, the best of the best with the click of a button. Go to livepure.com, throw what you want into the cart and check out. Family package is for if you're interested in the business or you're a family of 4 or more. It's the best bang for your buck, okay? The Reset Plus I mentioned earlier, that's the metabolic reset. When you go to check out, it's going to say, do you want to save money? Yes, choose to be a preferred customer. If you basically just give them your email address, you'll get 25% off, and you will then have the ability to get more savings as you continue to purchase with them. So I highly recommend the Smart Chip program. That is what makes us comparable and more affordable to other competitors out there who honestly have lesser products. So preferred customer is a great option. But if you're worried about the price, you're thinking of other people that need this, and you're really big into multiple streams of income, look at being a brand partner, guys. It's $49, okay? And with that, when you begin to share it, you get our trainings that we give you on your phone, teaching you how to do this in 30 minutes a day. And the income is exponential. There's no cap for what you can make here. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know who you know. I don't know how coachable you are, but basically you start sharing this with others and you start making money. This is exactly what happened to me. But then they started telling others. And before I knew it, I had teams all over the world of people purchasing products while I was sleeping. So whoever invited you probably invited 20 people, right? And Bob's on. And Bob's like, I'm not in shape. I struggle with my health. I am in debt. I don't know how I'm going to get through the holiday season. I don't have time to look at this till January, but put me in. Well, whoever invited Bob probably invited 20, and he only has 2 teams. So Bob goes in first. Now Kristen says, I want to go in. Kristen goes in next. Now Beth says, I'm ready to go in. Beth goes on Bob's team. Leah goes on Bob's team. Brenda goes on Bob's team. Bob's getting emails saying, Beth, Leah, Brenda, join your team. It's like, what does this mean? Every time they place an order, every time they tell somebody, it goes into a savings account for Bob. So whether he starts building tomorrow or next year or 2 years from now, you're going to have a savings account built up for him, very likely. So my recommendation is, if you think you're interested, do not wait. $49 to get started with the business. Military and students are waived. Business packs have free enrollment. Your monthly overhead, remember, this is your house. It's more important than your phones, your cars, your curtains. About $140 a month. Purchases between you or your customers. So if you're nervous about that, your customers' purchases count towards this. But most people that are educated are already spending this month per month on their health. It just replaces that. Then you go place your first order. You can start wherever you want. I recommend the family pack. It's $4,000 worth of products for $2,000. We have a 20% off coupon that drops this down to $2,000. Your membership fee is waived. Your shipping is waived. You get in the company star bonus program, which gives you extra bonuses. You're going to get our 30-minute a day training that our team offers you, but you're also getting my special VIP mentoring coaching program, where we have weekly coaching calls specifically for the VIPs. You have the ability to earn my leadership retreats. Last one was to Costa Rica if you're in the VIP program. If you're looking to get your family's health on track, this is the way to go. Right off. Plus you get 4 tickets, 20% off to give to your family members and friends between now and December 31st. The Reset Plus, I love. It's $1,500. With the discount, it drops at $1,200. It's $2,000 worth of products for $1,200. This you get shipping waived. The $49 is waived, and you're getting the company star bonus program. You're getting the 30 minutes a day of training on the phone. You're not in the VIP program. This is a great second option. And you're also getting 4 coupons to share with your friends and family. You can start wherever you want. You guys, the Core Plus is the most basic starter package. It's less than $10 a day for your servicing. Take your car in for servicing. We get, I got a quote on an air conditioning servicing for my beach house the other day. It was very expensive, a lot more expensive than this. This is a 30-day servicing. When was the last time you had your body serviced? But don't be selfish, guys. If you're in a household of 4 or more, look at the family pack. The Core Complete is $414 a day. That's a great option as well. Guys always say, how do I make my money back? Anytime they invest in something, how do I make it back? Well, I'll tell you the numbers. If you have 10 people watch this presentation, 3 to 4 will typically join, right? If 4 come in with the same package you came in with, you just made your money back. Usually you just get your whole family's health for free. You're welcome. And it's a tax write-off. So livepure.com, throw into the cart whatever you'd like. Core Complete, Reset, Family Pack, whatever you want. And then go check out. Choose to be a brand partner. And remember, there's no cap to what you can earn. You can earn whatever you want. And I figured out, once I started really creating income, once it matched what I made as a PA and then surpassed, I went to school for 8.5 years, spent $100,000 to be a PA. I had to work 12 hours a day to make the kind of money I was making as a PA. When this surpassed it, now it's 5 times what I made as a PA, working very part-time, like not even a quarter of what I did as a PA. Hello. How much can be made? How many lives can I change? millions of lives can be changed. We're a 15-year-old company. No one knows about us in the US. We're looking for people with big mouths who want to partner with us and share. We're really good at helping you earn weekly checks. What are you doing right now that'll pay you a check weekly for decades to come if you just spend 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week on it? We have a system. We send it to you. It's like a franchise without the contracts, without the royalty fees, without the lease of the strip mall. It's fabulous. I'm going to run over to the soccer game. I hope you've enjoyed this. I go live every single day. I go live at noon, Monday through Thursday. No, yes, Monday through Friday. And then twice a week, twice a day, Monday through Thursday. So 8 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, noon Monday through Friday, and then once on the weekends. So I hope that I see you. I hope I maybe get to work with you in our VIP program. Get your questions answered. Get back to the person who invited you. We'll see what happens.